Look at this right here. The Last of Us Season 2 viewership has collapsed over 50%, right? And of course, we know why. These geniuses behind this show. I honestly do believe that HBO has buyer's remorse with this series. I remember watching the first episode of the first season and I remember I was telling everyone, dude, HBO is back. This was right after House of the Dragon, which, by the way, I think we can all be honest about that show. Huge disappointment. But I remember watching this, the first episode, and I'm thinking, wow, Pedro Pascal, say what you will about him, right? But the dude is a good actor. He nails it. I'm watching this episode, the first episode, season 1, and I'm telling you, I, like many other people, I'm thinking HBO is back with a banger. This is going to be a show that everyone is going to be watching, just like they did with Game of Thrones. And then the season progressed, and I'm thinking, oh no, these dummies are actually stick to the games, huh? So I was worried. I'm like, there's no way. They cannot build this show around Joel, around Pedro Pascal's character, and in the second season, they're going to take him out. There ain't no way. They're probably going to change that, especially after the backlash from part 2, Last of Us Part 2, huge backlash. It was a whole complete rug pull. People loved this character of Joel. They loved the dynamic between Joel and Ellie. They're going to go forth and take him out. But no, of course they did. Second episode, I believe, they took him out. And now this show is all about Ellie. And what's more is this actress here, she ain't doing it. She's not doing it. She's not capturing Ellie from the video games. It's just not there. And now this show is all about this right here. There's no masculinity left in this show. They're trying to make her the masculine character, with her saying, I'm going to be a dad. That's what they're trying to do. And it ain't working. And from what I hear, season 3 is all going to be about Abby. You're not even going to see Ellie in this thing. So again, these geniuses, they think this is bad. Once more, look, The Last of Us Season 2 viewership collapses down over 50%. They think this is bad. Just wait until season 3 comes out and the entire season is about Abby, who people hate. I mean, they can't stand this character. They can't. And I mean, there's evidence of this already. I honestly don't know why. You have the answers to the test, right? You know what the people hated after the backlash of part 2 of The Last of Us. Why the hell are you going to do the exact same thing and expect a different result? But to think, dude, a collapse down of 50%, I swear, these studios, I think they just get locked in and they're like, you know what? We don't care. Let's read this. HBO has released the official numbers revealing that The Last of Us Season 2 has lost over half its audience. The Season 2 premiere brought in 5.3 million viewers across platforms, but the finale, released this Sunday, was only watched by 3.7 million, a 30% drop from the premiere and a staggering 55% drop compared to the season 1 finale, which drew 8.2 million. Yeah, you would think that more people would tune in towards the finale, but apparently they didn't. Because nobody cared. Like, once they got rid of Joel, dude, nobody cares. We don't care about this character, Ellie. Especially with this actress, her portrayal of this character. She's just not doing it, But of course, instead of addressing the real issues, right, because the answers are there, right? If there's any executives over at HBO wondering why this show is failing so bad, just look at what happened with part 2 of this game. But no, they're not doing that. Instead, this is what they're doing. HBO blames Memorial Day weekend for viewership drop. So most people, hardworking people, right? People that can afford HBO, they don't have to go to work on Monday. So you would think that there would be a bump in viewership because more people are staying home, right? They can stay up late. They can watch this show. Nope, that wasn't the case. No, HBO is blaming Memorial Day weekend. Look at this. HBO is trying to downplay the collapse, blaming the Memorial Day weekend and claiming the numbers will increase with delayed viewing. As they state in the official press release, the audience will grow significantly due to low viewership levels over the Memorial Day weekend, right? Again, it makes absolutely no sense. Memorial Day tends to be a huge time frame for movie studios because they know that's people have time for entertainment. Viewers tuning out as season 2 loses momentum, even with the excuses. The sharp decline in viewership throughout season 2 can't be ignored. Rather than building the momentum like season 1, the latest season lost steam episode after episode. Yeah, I stopped watching this show. And I'm I love HBO, or I used to love HBO because it was guaranteed that on Sunday nights, you were going to have a good time. You were going to be entertained. It was must-watch television. They were the standard when it came to programming, TV shows. It didn't matter what it was. Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, that came after The Sopranos. Then you got Game of Thrones. I mean, It was peak television. Now that's not the case. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. And like always, don't forget to subscribe. Sensational.